Good morning. Denise Dryden here, out on Bainbridge Island, and it's foggy and it's kind of chilly, and I thought I'll just nestle up here on the porch and give you some greenery in the background. I was going to go down on the water because the subject today is play, the power of play, and I wanted to be in someplace really fun, but it's really foggy and icky down there, so next time. Play. Play is a really valuable part of our everyday world, and it is a value that we as a culture have forgotten. And I wanted to bring it back today and talk a little bit about what do we mean by the value of play. Play opens us to creativity. We can't access this unless we put down that concept of work, right? You know, like, I have work to do. I'm serious. I have work to do. I made this flyer a couple months ago to promote coming to the island and doing individual intensives. And I put, come to the island and play with me, and let's find out what wants to happen. And I had a couple colleagues go, oh, no one's going to pay to come play. And I thought, actually, that's probably the one thing that we need to do more of, is we need to play. We need to find out how to let go of this being really big, deep, hard work and let it be organic. Let's find out what's inside, what wants to bubble up, what wants to happen, right? So play defined is, by the Oxford Dictionary, by the way, is to engage in an activity for enjoyment and recreation rather than for a serious or practical purpose. So it's like, hey, let's take the seriousness and practicality out of these things that we do, and let's do them for just pure enjoyment. It's to engage. It's to take part in. It's to conduct or a course of action in a game. So you can play sports. You can play cards. We played cards last night. You can play at a lot of different things. But the idea is to take the seriousness and sort of the plotting out of it. So for those of you who play sports, who are worried about your statistics, or those of you who jog and you're watching your clock and saying, I didn't get my cardio up enough. That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about play. We're talking about free, unrestricted play. So there's also this correlation of play, that the more we play, the happier and confident we are, and the less we play is because we're coming from a position of, I don't have enough. I don't have enough money. I don't have enough time. I'm not enough. I don't deserve to be light and frivolous. Because we have sort of these old voices in our head, and they come from the industrial age, which is, if you play, you can't make money, right? So our expectations, and we focus on work and pressure, and what happens is it goes away. All of the freedoms that we have disappear. So it's been associated with being a child, being childish, being immature, being irresponsible, things that adults don't do, something that you will grow out of. And like, I'm here to say, probably some of the most creative work that I've done in the last 2 years has been through the process of learning to balance play and work. So I play all morning, I work in the afternoons, and then I play at night. I've let go of that sort of seriousness, and it's really changed some things. So play helps us access some traits that we associate with creatives, something that a lot of sensitives and empaths have as well. Observant, curious, hyper-focus, determination, problem solving, thinking outside the box. Getting some hearts going across the screen on that one. These are essential skills for leadership, self-management, entrepreneurial direction, relationships, growth. These things can be really these things can open up when we allow ourselves to be playful, to think outside the box, right? So play can be fun, pleasurable. It could be leisure, could be laughter, could be sensual. Could be sensual pleasure, could be physical bliss, delight, rapture, joy, excitement. When you think of these words, what happens is it stirs a little bit of energy inside of you, right? Like pleasure, bliss. And then what happens is that energy moves us forward. It's one of the few things. We can force movement forward. We can try to will movement forward. But when we allow movement to just naturally pick us up and take us forward and let that energy help us, that energy comes from play. It comes from bliss. It comes from pleasure. It comes from joy. So when we access something like pleasure and joy and playfulness inside of us, we loosen up the grip that our mind has. And we start to see things in a different way. We start to see things open up. We unharness the mind from those sort of external expectations and diligence and work of the old historical values, and we let light and energy and freedom in. And that's where creativity comes. So one of the most profound pieces that I found was in a book by Mike Dooley. I was listening to it on my way out to Montana for this recent family retreat. And I think it's called From Deep Space with Love. And in it, they talk about the value of imagination. We can't access our imagination unless we allow ourselves to play. So imagination, from the dictionary, is the action of forming new ideas, concepts, and images, the ability of the mind to be creative and resourceful, and the ability to form ideas and sensations in the mind without having an immediate input of the senses. That's close. That's good. I like that. So it's letting go of the physical constructs and creating something that doesn't exist yet. Well, let's go a little bit further and go through what Mike Dooley works with, which is that imagination is a sense. It's a kind of sense. And it's the sense of anticipation, the sense of expectation made real in the psyche or the mind. It's the process of imagining or visualizing in advance of actually performing or creating that which you wish to see in your physical reality. You can look at a room and go, man, I wonder what it would look like if it was this beautiful shade of blue. And then I would do this. And then I would do that. And then I would do this. And then you bring it into physical form. Okay? So free space. This is what we're talking about. We have free space to feel and see and explore without constraints of bringing it into form until you want to. Play gets us out of our mental ruts. Play opens us to opportunities and possibilities that we couldn't see and we didn't know before. Play creates connections for things and energies that show us new directions, new relationships. Play opens the door and pushes us through into what we really want, what we really need. Okay, so I just returned from a 2.5 day retreat that was managed, and parents, teens doing some really amazing emotional work. And there's some downtimes, and there's also a lot of heavy stuff stirring, because this is the first time families come together to work on some of the stuff that has gotten in the way. And what I noticed is that they have this free time. So we just put frisbees and footballs and soccer balls out there, and it was a no electronics weekend. So the parents were out kicking the balls, the soccer balls back and forth with their kids. And some of, they were playing with frisbees, they were taking walks together. But one of the things that I love the most is that they made up games. They got these paper cups and they put them in different spots around the fireplace, and there's pebbles around the fireplace for fire prevention, right? And they're taking the pebbles and they're seeing how high they can make them go before they land in the cup, how they can knock the cups over. They were having all sorts of fun, just entertaining themselves and then talking and being with each other. Play opens the door for so much. It lets us laugh. It lets us relax. It lets us put down our guard, and it helps us with ways to enjoy each other. So let's play more. And a man that I have listened to for a long time, Steve Rother, he closes every one of his presentations with "Play well together." And I would like to add, play well together and see what wants to happen. So this is what I do. If you want to learn how to play, if you want to learn how to let go and let your mind be creative, come to the island. Yeah, first. Give me a call, You can find me on DeniseDrydenCoaching.com, and let's see what wants to happen. Have a great Sunday and enjoy playing this summer. Get out and play. Take care. Bye-bye.